Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ring Ready Live, the home of the owner handler, brought to you by Showsite Magazine. I'm Dan Sayers here once again with Lee Whittier, the dog show mentor, and we're happy to have all of you here with us. And today we're going to be asking you all a question, and that question is going to be, what's in your toolbox? So we want to ask you if you feel that you're as prepared as you can be every time you go to the ring. And have you ever had an unexpected situation come up that you were indeed prepared for? And if so, which items in your toolbox saved the day? So, Lee, I was thinking on this topic, when I think of tools, I think of, I think of my actual toolbox. And I also think of IKEA furniture. And most of us are familiar with IKEA furniture. You know, we go to the store, we buy it, it comes in a flat pack, and it has that wonderful tool called an Allen wrench. And all you need for
Oh
most
yeah.
IKEA items are the Allen wrench. Without it, you're never going to build that bed, that chest of drawers, or that kitchen cabinetry. So the right tool for the right job is important. So really, without the right tools, you cannot achieve success, and that's as true for assembling furniture as it is for in the ring. So we're going to discuss today our toolboxes, and I want to ask everyone who is watching, let us know where you're from, let us know your breed, and let us know what's in your toolbox, because I'm sure all of us have similar items in our toolbox, but I think there's got to be one or two viewers who are going to share something that maybe the rest of us haven't considered and that actually might save the day one day. So Lee, you're a judge. You've got exhibitors of and all the breeds that you judge coming into your ring every day. Do you think that, what are your thoughts on exhibitors, owner handlers, and their tools? What tools have you found help the exhibitors in your ring?
Well, first I want to say hello to Julie and Sherry and Denise and Bay and Becky and Megan and Maureen and Beth and Sharon and Dawn. All these people are familiar faces from times before. So welcome. And it is great to see everyone, Megan. Thank you for saying that. That's exactly what I was going to say. North of Sweden.
Hello,
Wow.
Sweden.
Yeah. Hi, Sweden.
Thank you for joining
Saluki.
us today. Let us know
Beautiful
what is in,
Salukis. Yeah.
yes, let us know what's in your Saluki toolbox.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that. So, so this would be for coated breeds and short coats. Um, Depending on what it is, I I like to see things for last minute cleanup, because those are the unexpected, right? So at Dog Mentor, we talk about being prepared and being prepared for the unexpected, which you can never totally be prepared for, but you sure can try. And we've talked about this a little bit before. And when I see things in Ringside Toolkit, some of the things that I see are things like Band-Aids for cuticles that get jagged in the ring, right?
Yes.
Sometimes for the larger breeds, but also sometimes for the smaller ones. What about when you have a dog that needs a little bit of cleanup? How about those baby wipes? Those are really helpful and sometimes can even be used to get dirt, get those nails cleaned at the last minute if you walk through some unexpected dirt coming to the ring. Julie keeps a small bottle of Tylenol, a few Imodium, a pen, and a Dog Show Mentor pad. Thank you, Julie. Yeah. And we're going to get some Dog Show Mentor pens pretty soon, too. Who else has some suggestions on what they like to bring? I know what I bring. What do you bring to the ring?
You know, Lee, as you were giving some examples, it occurred to me that our toolbox could maybe be divided into individual categories. You mentioned grooming, so that would be one category of tool. First aid, you mentioned the band-aids. Treats and bait, obviously, those are great secret weapons. We all have dogs that prefer one kind of bait over another, or a very particular toy uh,
Right.
for that dog. Toolbox might also include, as you said, wipes for cleaning up for both maybe yourself and for the dog. And there's also maybe in your toolbox, you might have some things that are provided for the comfort of your dog before going into the ring and while they're in the ring. So maybe those are a couple categories. And then there's also a category of tool that maybe might fall under a subcategory of training. So some of the tools that we can access in the ring aren't actually a gadget or a gizmo, but it may just be a form of communication, or it may be certain signals that we give to our dog and to ourselves, or maybe just commands, for lack of a better word, that can help the dog maybe to focus or respond. Those may be tools that could be used as well. I see Samantha says that for health, she has used liquid bandage in 2 instances where her and her friend's dog got their pads cut at the show. That's really, really useful to have, because that can and does happen, especially at outdoor shows, maybe where there's some very brittle grass or some debris lying in the grass. And Peg mentions here, Lee, that she has scissors, thinning shears, strippers, 3 different kinds of brushes are great. You know, Peg sounds like she's prepared for her coated breed.
She's got her whole tack box coming to the ring. That's right. I like that. Roll of paper towels. Thank you very much. I have found that, oddly enough, sometimes the dogs aren't always as clean as they should be. And I'm wondering when that happened, because it seems to me that they were always super clean, nose to tail and behind the tail. And recently I've noticed that a lot of dogs' faces and behind the tails aren't as clean as they used to be. And I wonder what that's about. I wonder if people aren't being taught that that's important.
I would think that's critical. As a judge, you're going over the dogs. You don't want to transfer anything from one dog to another by inadvertently coming into contact with something. But I wonder if, yes, maybe, does every exhibitor know that those are the things you need to check before you go into the ring? Maybe not.
Maybe some of the newer people don't know. I don't know.
Very, very important.
Or maybe people just are forgetting. Julie keeps facial astringent in her tack box. It cleans the coat. Yeah, and we used to use Listerine. Do people still use Listerine? If you still use that, I'm really curious. Put it in the chat. A good pin brush. Yeah, I mean, your brush is definitely going to depend on the coat of your breed. Bait, roadkill, squeaker, Lysol wipes, paper towels. Absolutely. I'm guessing that there aren't very many exhibitors who forget to bring bait to the ring. I think that might be the first thing that they put in their pockets. And I know as an exhibitor, I don't use a lot of bait with my Tibetans, but I usually have something tasty and always a squeaky toy, because those are really good.
Those are probably numbers 1 and 2 for sure. I'd like to offer a suggestion that one of the tools may actually be refraining from bait.
We're going to have a whole section on that. We're going to have a whole Facebook Live on bait and
no bait. Yes, that's a great topic. And I want to just invite everyone, whenever we have that particular show, please put that on your calendars as well. Yes, bait is great, but boy, you can grow dependent on that bait. And when I say you, I mean you, the exhibitor, and you, the dog, because you don't want to depend on the bait, because you know why? You're going to run out of bait someday. And sometimes that anticipation on your dog's part for a debate that doesn't always come when they expect it, that can certainly be more powerful than feeding your dog in the ring, as a lot of people seem to call it.
Yeah. Elizabeth has a really good tip, and that is that she brings her armbands from the days before. Of course, this wouldn't help on the first day, but in a lot of cases, so that if one shreds from getting wet in the rain or for some other reason, she's got an extra one. She's not standing there having the steward write the number on an old armband.
That's a wonderful suggestion. Thank you, Elizabeth, for that. In the event you don't have that, you can always have a Sharpie in your tack box, find another armband, turn it around, and write the number. But don't expect anybody to do that for you. You should be prepared to do that if you lose your armband.
Well, and some of the armbands have a disclaimer writing over the whole back of it.
That's true.
And if you have that, it's hard to write a number on it, so you have to do it on the other side, and then it's, you know. So, wow. Nikki keeps all the numbers from all the shows, so she now has from 5 to over 20. So I'm guessing you have dogs and bitches, and that's a great idea. That's a new one to me. Okay. Sarah says, I've never run out of bait. I overbait my dog, but I work him hungry because we typically show first thing in the morning. Chicken, steak, freeze-dried raw, chicken, meatballs. Oh my gosh. Got a smorgasbord.
Yes, I think, Sarah, I'm coming to your place. You're set up for breakfast. That sounds really delicious. But you make a good point, Sarah. If your breed usually shows in the morning, it sounds like part of your tool is don't feed, and then bring that hungry dog into the ring, bring his breakfast into the ring in your pockets, and then you're obviously going to get the performance that you're hoping for out of your dog. But that's a very good strategy.
And I don't want to give away too much, but maybe get this performance that she's hoping for, or not.
Or not. That's true.
It might be the one she's hoping for, but it might not be the one the judge is hoping for.
Yes. We've all seen those handlers who have a dog that's trained to catch the bait. They just toss it into the dog's mouth. Mm-hmm. And there are those dogs that get it 99.9% of the time. But when they miss it, it's not a pretty picture. When you see a foxhound or some other very hungry, large breed diving for that little piece of liver, it's not a pretty sight. So, and Lena says, Lee, bring an extra exhibition leash. And, that is so important. Those breeds that we love, and a lot of exhibitors have these bedazzled leads, and they look beautiful on their breeds. But as beautiful as they are, they're not indestructible. And boy, it would be good to have just a very simple lead in your other pocket, in your back pocket, as it were, should that lucky lead of yours fail. And to that point, there's a lot of fails that happen in the ring. I mentioned wardrobe, I think, as maybe a subcategory, Lee. And I find that whenever I ask folks, whether it's exhibitors, breeders, or judges, to provide a humorous tale of a ring experience, most assuredly, a wardrobe malfunction is cited as one of those funny, not funny experiences. Right. And, a safety pin could save you, if part of your wardrobe starts to malfunction. So it doesn't hurt to have, a safety pin. It could even be one that you wear sort of as jewelry, but that's going to maybe save you from an embarrassing.
Absolutely. And, although we certainly wouldn't bring an extra pair of pantyhose to the ring for those people who still wear it, having it in your setup would be great. I mean, there's no way you could really change it at the ring, right? But Sarah says show shoes, absolutely. And what we find is that when we change our shoes out during the day, that it helps our feet not be as sore. And in the Dog Show Mentor Owner Handlers Facebook group, which is an open group that I created just for owner handlers to ask questions and have a safe place to communicate with each other. One person said that she brings an extra show jacket because at one point something happened to her jacket. It got dirtied on the back, and she didn't have one she could wear in the ring. So I thought that was tremendous. Of course, we always have them somewhere. But yeah, pantyhose fell down around her ankles. Okay. TMI.
There it is. There's that story.
No.
There's always one of those stories in every conversation when it comes to show clothing.
Yeah,
Leah, you just mentioned your Facebook group for Dog Show Mentor, but maybe now's a good time. Remind everyone about Dog Show Mentor. We may have some first-time viewers, so tell everyone about Dog Show Mentor, if you would.
Dog Show Mentor is something, it's a community. It's not just about what we learn, it's how we learn it. It's not just about skills based, it's about how we approach and how we strategize, how we plan, how we take things seriously and yet at the same time approach it with a sense of humor. And so what we're doing now is similar to what happens in Dog Show Mentor in our live interactive masterclasses, except that instead of posting in the chat, I actually open up the mics and have people speak authentically about their experiences and their questions. I give total masterclasses that are prepared material that is important for you to learn as an owner handler from the judge's perspective. So we really are a community or a tribe, if you will. And that's what I hear people, when they talk about it, what they say is that the importance of how we communicate together, how we meet at dog shows, how we have the Dog Show Mentor buddies and people help each other out and support each other. So yeah, that's a little bit about the program.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And I encourage everyone to reach out to Lee and consider becoming a member of Dog Show Mentor. The wealth of knowledge and the strategy that Lee will help you develop for you and your dog can be found nowhere else. So I just want to encourage you to consider that. And that's true if you're showing your first dog ever, or if you have been showing as an owner handler for 20 or more years. There's always something that we can learn, and there are strategies that we can use because every dog we show is different. Even if you've been breeding the same line of dogs, you've got a new puppy, it's a new experience, you're going to need some new strategies. So Lee can help you.
And if you want to know more about how we work, I'm going to tell you in a little bit about a 3-part challenge that I'm hosting.
Wonderful. So stay tuned. We'll have more information on that at the end of today's show. Lee, you mentioned a word that I think is a fantastic word, and that is tribe. That's how I feel about breeders within my breed, and that's how I feel about our community as well. I think there's a lot of words that describe people who have interests in common, and I think the word tribe, it's a little deeper than family. I think that it's wonderful because you've got a group of people who are focused on the same goals and who are going to support one another, have each other's back. You're going to find that support from you when they're communicating with you and with the tribe that you've assembled. But that tribe is also going to be found at every show you go to. You're going to find that support from the other owner handlers who are members of Dog Show Mentor. So that word tribe, I think, really resonates with me And I'm glad that that's a word that is in your dog show mentor vocabulary.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
I want to get back to some of the items in the toolbox. And Aaliyah says that she always has a pumice stone. And she says not only does it get loose undercoat out and puts a shine on her dog's coats, but it also removes wound up hair from your clothes. So it has multi purposes. And if you don't know what a pumice stone is, it may not be something that you use in your breed, but actually it may be a tool that depending on your breed is something you ought to find out more, because it is a very, very useful tool for the presentation and preparation in some breeds. It's a great item to have. And who knew that it would get hair off of your clothes as well? So it's a lint brush apparently as well.
I
So
love that some of you are including your blooper stories for us, and that's really fun. So if you have a blooper story about something that happened to you ringside, we'd love to hear those too.
yes, I'm seeing here Nikki has a pant split escapade. That's something that can happen to gentlemen as well as ladies, and that is indeed an embarrassment. Um, you don't want to be caught with your pants down, I guess is the expression, and in this case, it's a literal one. Thank you, Nikki, and I'm sure you've got an extra pair of trousers or slacks with you at all times.
Yeah,
Uh,
so Sarah, it absolutely is a tool to stretch your dog out. If
mm,
that's how you work your dog, that's a tool that you use and that you've learned, and it's a system that you put in place. So bravo to you.
Yes, I would agree with you. That is a tool. My friend and mentor Betty is in her toolbox is very lightweight, because it seems that much of her tools are exactly that. They are techniques for massage, for relaxation. They're fantastic tools, and oftentimes we forget. We think that we need, again, a gadget or a piece of gear, when the stretching could be the tool that your dog needs the most. And stretching ourselves, that's a useful tool for us as well.
And we're going to have a whole segment of the three-part challenge on relaxing your ring nerves. So, and I'm just going to give you a little preview here. One of those is making sure that your body is in tune. And I also love that Megan says that she uses nail polish for runs in her hose, unless they're like my run, which went all the way up the back of my leg once. And Ray, yeah, thank you for saying that as a newbie, the show world is amazing and humbling. It is. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. It's amazing and humbling for all of us, right up until where I am as a multi-group judge. It's still amazing and humbling. So thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
And I get this question all the time, Tamara. And the preference is your preference. As long as you look comfortable and professional, where would you like? Please yourself, pants or a skirt? And I don't know a judge who doesn't feel the same way.
Is that true? Because yeah, here's the reason I ask, and this is a little off topic, but I think we all wear clothing into the ring, and we all have a sense of fashion or not. It seems like pockets are the single most important part of a wardrobe. But I've seen during this summer some win photos where the gentlemen are wearing polo shirts. There's no tie, there's no jacket. The women, not wearing the suits, a little more casual. Obviously, there are some shows that have become well known for their themes, Wolfstock being one, where folks dress in a real fun way, not formal. But I'm referring to what I would just call casual clothing. as a
And
judge.
and there are shows that say casual. So, what do you think casual is? What do you think? I mean, it's different to everybody.
It is
So, Dan, how do you define that? If you went to a show and the premium list said casual
casual.
attire, what
Yeah,
would you think?
that would mean to me as a gentleman, no jacket, no tie. I would still wear a button-down shirt um, because that's my preference. I would think a polo shirt might be suitable as well. Um, I was always taught that if the judge is wearing a jacket, go into the ring with a jacket, even if it's 95 degrees. If the judge took off his tie but left his jacket on, you do the same. That's just what I was taught. And I will probably always do that. But you're right. I have actually seen premium lists that will state this is a casual show.
Right.
I don't know if that's a movement or if I'm just noticing it, but I would like to suggest that if we are trying to expand our reach as a tribe to the larger tribe of dog loving people in the general public, I think that when they do come to our show, if we dress a little more as they do, now I'm not saying jeans and t-shirts, but you know, sometimes, wearing a suit in a field in 90 degrees, other than in a dog show context, doesn't make a lot of sense to folks. And
Well, I think there's a common sense um, component here, Dan,
for sure,
and so in the West where I live, um, and California and Washington and Oregon, I think particularly, we do have a lot of shows that are casual, polo shirts and khakis for men, and sleeveless dresses for women are often worn, and people choose to wear. I mean, I see women all the time in super cute clothes. I mean, super little dresses that are, they're high necked, but may have some lace on them, or there are many different ways that people dress now. But I think that the key is um, that looking. When I say professional, I just mean not like you just got off your couch in a sweatshirt and jeans. Unless, of course, it's 20 degrees and you're showing outdoors. But and that was all you could grab. But I think that is the trend, Dan, is that we are becoming more casual within a tasteful aspect.
yes. We've got some comments here. Carrie is saying she's in California and the heat has been so bad that the show committees are encouraging casual
Yeah.
dress. Others are saying the same thing. It's interesting that they're from the West Coast where you are. Um, Maybe that's where this trend has started. Hopefully, it's going to move east because I do think I just think it's if we're comfortable, I just think that that's kind of better. We can focus on our dog's comfort if we ourselves are feeling comfortable. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And again, I kind of hijacked this conversation with wardrobe, but I was just thinking about it. Maybe because I intended to wear a jacket today, but it's so hot here that I elected to
There you
forego the
go.
jacket. So that's been on my mind. But we're still getting some comments about the items for the toolbox. Baby wipes again seem to be a favorite. And I'm seeing here, Lee, people are also, it's always good to have a rain poncho or something. You can buy those now. They roll up. They're very small. They can
The
fit in your
size of a
pocket.
card
Yes,
deck.
yes. And one of those things, if it looks like it's going to rain, have that in your pocket or have that in your ringside bag
Oh
because
yeah,
you may need
definitely.
that. And it will save your clothing no matter what you're wearing.
So Tina, I just want to tell you here, your favorite day is pajama day, the cotton line cluster. But guess what? I'm not going to be participating in that.
So we can encourage them to come see you, Lee, and your
Oh, they
jammies.
can come. They can do it. I'm not like, no, no, not for me.
Well,
Um, so we are just about out of time, Dan.
wow, this 30 minutes flew by, Lee.
It
Let's
did.
um, let's talk a little bit about your master classes that you have
I
scheduled
know.
for the end of September and early October.
I was just going to say, I'm dying to tell people about this. So, three-part series starting September 28th, but we're going to skip Montgomery County. We can go to October 12th and then October 19th. So put it on your calendar. It'll be posted later on Facebook and in this feed. And I hope all of you will come. And we're going to talk about different things that are going to really make or break you in the ring. And one of those is ring nerves. So think about that.
Well,
You
I
tend to get
encourage
nervous in the ring.
we all get nervous before we go in the ring, no matter who we are at a dog show. So I want to encourage everyone to join Lee. I will be there. Alex, our producer, will be there as well. And if you enjoy the 30 minutes that you spend with us each week at Ring Ready Live, you're going to love the 90-minute master classes. That's 3 90-minute classes. If you're not yet a dog show mentor member, this is perhaps a great step to get a sense of what being a member feels like and the information that is imparted. Your master classes, Lee, are interactive. So
Yeah.
they're conducted much like a Zoom call, if you will. And everybody gets a chance to participate. And Lee, I know that you as the dog show mentor encourage participation. So that's really important to know that you will be part of the conversation. So again, what are the dates for those, Lee?
So that would be no September 28th, October 12th, and 19. And if I could just take one extra minute, Dan,
Yes.
I wanted to mention that we're running out of time to book your club's Blue Ribbon Blueprint. I will schedule and create a Blue Ribbon Blueprint Masterclass, which is the basis of showing dogs, in my opinion. And the end date is August 31st to book it. So if your club might be interested in having a masterclass that could be recorded, you're welcome to put it on your club's website for members only, or have it as monetize it to your club members. However, that works best for you. But if you have a club, it can be a national club, it can be an Albury club who wants to have an online masterclass from me. By August 31st, you have to book it for free. Otherwise, there's a fee. All right.
That's a tremendous value. And if any of our viewers find that interesting and would like to get in touch with their club, all breed, limited breed, or a breed club, you've got 6 days to get
Right.
to get in touch with Lee. So keep that in mind. And I'd also like to remind everyone that Megan Parati TG is the customer relations manager for the owner handlers. Megan is always available to you, the owner handler. She is an owner handler herself, and she'd be happy to speak to you about your advertising goals in Ring Ready. So reach out to Megan. That's Megan, MEEGAN, at showsitemagazine.com. And before I go, I just want to let everyone know that we will be having Ring Ready Live again next Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. And our topic is going to be the parts of the judge's exam. And Lee, this is going to be your show, really. You, as multi-group judge, are going to help us understand what, what you do as a judge in terms of the specific components, the different parts of the exam, how they may be breed specific. And I'm sure there's a lot of information that is going to be helpful to all of us, no matter which breed we handle. So I encourage everyone to join us next week. And I want to thank everyone for coming back to us this week here at Ring Ready Live. Lee, as always, it's a pleasure to see you every Wednesday. And it's always a pleasure to hear from all of you as well. So until next week, remember to have fun with your dogs.
See you in the winner's circle.
Bye, everyone.